this. So this is an example of an efficient market delivery here. Candle number 3 connected to candle number 1. Candle number 3 connected to candle number 1. This means for the whole price range here, there were equal amount of buys and equal amount of sales. This is efficient market delivery. Now, once we talk about inefficient market delivery, it means the buys and the sales are not balanced. There is an inefficiency in price, and this form of inefficiency is an imbalance once we talk about fair value gaps. Now, this is how it is going to look like. Something like this. Candle number 1 and candle number 3 disconnected. So you have this tiny pocket of space in between candle number 1 and candle number 3. This is your fair value gap. So what this means here is price was delivered ineffectively in this range. We had an impulse of one-sided market. So for a market to be balanced, you need equal amounts of buys and equal amounts of sales. But in this case, it means we had more buys, so sales were not able to be delivered efficiently. So the market created a gap, a sell gap here. The market did not sell in this range. There were only buy transactions. Like the buy transaction, they outweigh the sell transactions in this range. So it's a fair value gap. Fair value gap. That means for this market to be fair, for it to be effectively delivered, at a future time, price needs to trade back into that range to cover up that space and deliver price effectively. So it means we'll be looking at price to do something like this probably after creating the gap. After creating the gap, it means we'll be anticipating price to tap into this range. We anticipate price to tap into this range of the fair value gap and then continue trading back up. So this is how the fair value gap looks like. Now, how do we actually use the fair value gap? Now, before I go into chart to show you where to use them and where to not put them into consideration and different facets to look at, after market creates the gap this way, and then you have this pocket of space in between candle number 1 and candle number 3. What you are anticipating is for market to come back to fill in this chunk of space and to continue the trend. Now, market can actually tap in just a bit into the fair value gap and continue to the upside. That means there is possibility we can see a move like this. There is possibility we can see a move like this. At other times, market can actually trade and penetrate the fair value gap very deeply. You can see something like this. Another time, price can perfectly deliver just up to maybe around 50% of the fair value gap. Maybe something like this, just close up the space and then continue to the upside. Now, if this particular candle, which has the body of the fair value gap, that means the candle which body created the fair value gap, if it is of large range enough, you want to place your stop loss below the candle. If you want to go aggressive, maybe you want to trade a lot of size, so you don't want a wide stop loss, you can put a stop loss here. You can put your stop loss here if the range is wide enough, if it is considerably wide enough. You don't want to be putting your stop losses in places where you'll be kicked out easily. So you calculate your position size. We all already know how to do that. You calculate your position size and you know what is fitting for which of the stop losses you select. Now, this one is just below the fair value gap candle if its range is wide. And this one is the major swing. So for example, let's say we had a market like this. So this is swing low, and then a fair value gap forms around this range. You want to enter with the fair value gap or your stop loss below the major swing or below the fair value gap candle if its range is wide enough. So it depends on your risk appetite and your risk tolerance and how you desire to manage your positions. Now, these fair value gaps actually, they offer high probability when they occur in other blocks. The fair value gap, they offer high probability setups when they